Hey TechKnowStuds! One thing that can be really handy on these devices is by using host records. So let's take a look at how we could create a host record on these machines. Here I am on switch 1. And what I want to do is I want to ping R1. So I'm going to ping R1, which is 10.240.0.2. So ping 10.240.0.2. We hit enter and it's no problem at all. But let's say I don't want to type in IP addresses. Maybe I want to use names instead. So R1 is already set up with the host name R1. Let's see what happens when we ping R1. So I hit there, and what it's doing is it's trying to translate R1 and find what is the IP address for R1. And it's going to become unsuccessful with this because there's nothing to look up. And so this is what I want to solve for. I want to be able to ping R1. And you can't just set one of the host names and be able to ping it. Instead, what we have to do is we have to set it up a host record on this machine. The first thing I'm going to do is get into the global configuration mode. So conf T to get into that. And one way that I can solve this problem is to reference a domain name server. So what I'm going to do, a DNS server. So I'm going to do it IP name-server and then the IP address of whatever server that I'm going to use for this. Now, in this case right here, even if we had a name server set up, we wouldn't necessarily have all of our equipment set up on that name server. So in that case, this would not actually work. This method would not actually work. So I'm going to show you a different way to do that. I can type in IP host, and then that's the command, and then R1 is the name, and then I can type in the IP address, 10.240.0.2, and hit enter. And now I'm going to do ping R1 and see what happens here. Still goes through tries to do the lookup process here, but as soon as it does that, it's going to ping 10.240.0.2 because now we got a record for that, and we can see that that was successful. So that is successful. If I want to take away this, then all I have to do is just put a no in front of it, and then that removes it. And if I want to test this out now that it's removed, I just ping R1 again, and need a do in front of that. And then we can see that this is going to fail again. There is an IPv6 of this command also, so you just add a v6 to it, and everything else is the same. Well, of course, you're using the IPv6 address rather than the IPv4 address. So I'm going to type in that address and forgot the name, so we'll put R1 here. And now let's do ping R1 and see what happens here. And it goes immediately to the ping this time, and so now it is successful. One other command that we can use, because this gets really annoying if we mess up and we type something wrong and have to wait for this. So one thing that we could do also is we could use the command no IP domain-lookup. And now let's enter that in, and let's ping something we haven't created a record for. So we haven't created a record for R3. So we hit ping R3, and do we need to put a do in front of that? And we can see that it's not even going to try to attempt to do the translation of this.